Try to imagine nothing. Not empty space, not darkness, not silence. No dimension to hold a vacuum, no time in which stillness could pass, no observer to perceive absence. Not the black void of space, not a pause between sounds, but the total absence of being, no matter, no law, no potential, no awareness. Can you hold that image in your mind? You can't. The moment you try, your brain fills the void with something, a backdrop, a presence, a place from which to observe. Even the concept of nothing implies a frame of reference, and perhaps that's where the mystery begins. If true nothingness is not only unimaginable, but maybe even impossible, then we are forced to ask, why does something exist, anything, instead of nothing at all? This is not a question about how the universe formed or what triggered the expansion of space-time. It is a question about why there is anything here to begin with, about the very fact of existence itself. Modern science has offered us astonishing explanations for how the cosmos behaves and how complex structures emerge from seemingly simple rules. But when we trace these explanations backward, through quantum fields, mathematical symmetries, subatomic particles, and cosmic singularities, we find that each model begins, inevitably, with something. The Big Bang is often cited as the origin of our universe, but the Big Bang is not the beginning of everything. It's the beginning of a particular state of things, an expansion from a hot, dense condition into the structured universe we now observe. It describes what happened after the clock started ticking, but not why there was a clock at all. To fill in the blanks, physicists proposed cosmic inflation, a period of exponential expansion that occurred a fraction of a second after the Big Bang. This theory elegantly solves problems like the uniformity of the cosmic microwave background and the flatness of space, but it too begins with assumptions: a field, a fluctuation, an energy state. From there, things become even stranger. Eternal inflation suggests that inflation never truly stopped, but continues endlessly, spawning bubble universes across a vast and ever-branching multiverse. Each of these bubbles may have its own physical constants, dimensions, and even laws of logic. In this landscape, our universe is not special, just one of many possible configurations of reality. Then there's string theory, which posits that the fundamental constituents of matter are not particles, but vibrating strings, existing in a space of 10 or 11 dimensions. According to some interpretations, the variety of universes allowed by string theory could account for the fine-tuning we observe. The fact that conditions in our universe are remarkably, even suspiciously, suited for the emergence of life and mind. And yet, these models, brilliant, complex, and mathematically compelling, still rest on unexplained foundations. They tell us what exists and how it behaves, but not why there is anything at all. At this point, the tools of empirical science begin to blur at the edges, and we find ourselves crossing into the domains of metaphysics, philosophy, and, perhaps inevitably, spirituality. Some traditions, particularly in Eastern philosophy, suggest that existence arises not from randomness or necessity, but from awareness. In Vedanta, the ultimate reality is not matter, but Brahman, pure consciousness, without form or boundary. The universe is not separate from this awareness, but is a kind of dream within it. In Buddhism, the self is seen as an illusion, and reality is viewed as interdependent phenomena with no inherent essence. Existence arises through conditions, not from a central cause. Modern thinkers have explored panpsychism, the notion that consciousness is not something that emerges late in the game after matter arranges itself correctly, but something fundamental to the very fabric of reality. Still others explore idealism, the idea that the universe exists within mind, not the other way around, that everything we perceive as out there is actually a projection of consciousness itself. In these views, the question, why is there something instead of nothing, becomes not a physical puzzle, but a spiritual koan, a pointer to the mysterious fact that something must be, because the very act of questioning implies awareness, and awareness is something. And now we return to where we began. Billions of years of blind physical processes somehow produced a brain that can sit here and ask why anything exists at all. That's not just poetic, it's wildly improbable. And yet, here you are, not just existing, but questioning existence itself. You're not separate from the universe. You're the part of it that became aware enough to wonder what it is. And maybe that wonder is the universe noticing itself for the first time. Why do you think anything exists at all, instead of nothing? Whether your answer is scientific, philosophical, or spiritual. I want to hear it. Drop it in the comments. Hit like if this made you think, and subscribe for more questions that don't have easy answers.